Today's topic is when should I implement an inventory management system? As we talk to a lot of brand owners, entrepreneurs, inventory-based entrepreneurs who have businesses of whether or when we talk about accounting for their inventory and cost of goods sold and helping them manage and facilitate that from an operational standpoint, a lot of times the question comes up of when to implement an inventory management system. Some people think the sooner the better for that. I would actually disagree. I feel like a little bit later than when you should is probably the right decision or the right time frame with it. Let me explain. Number one, in order to update and use an inventory management system, and the one that we recommend here at Accountfully is Sin 7 Core. It used to be called Dear Inventory. Is you need resources, i.e., people to help update it or get it implemented, get it up implemented accurately, and update it in real time to understand how to update it, right? So it's not like it's just a quick and easy, press a couple buttons and it's in place. Depending upon the complexity of your business or your supply chain and inventory procurement processes, it actually may be pretty, streamlined versus harder, right? Um, Additionally, what's getting put into that system directly impacts accounting and financial reporting. So before you even get an inventory management system in place, I think number one is get organized, right? Understanding what your inventory, your cost of goods sold, what your landed costs are. Get a process around doing monthly inventory counts, right? If you're at Amazon, different 3PLs, whatever, let's get a practice in place just so you get some habit of accounting and managing inventory, right? And then get it from that aspect, get it to like, what am I doing today? How does it impact accounting and financial reporting, specifically margins, right? Like just understanding your landed cost of your product when you look at your P&L of your company. What are your margins month over month, and even if you're able to get it down to the sales channel level, right? So first couple of things: get organized, understand your accounting and kind of financial reporting aspect, your margins, your numbers, right? Try doing that manually for a while and just see how it goes. Remember, when you do things manually, much more time efficient and cost efficient and less precise. A lot of times at the level of business you're at today, um, that works, especially if you're below $1 million in annual revenue, right? I always say before you even think about implementing inventory system, let's get above a million in annual revenue, and then you see an aspect of scalability, right? So once you kind of get to all those items in place, let's talk about a couple things that you should think about when implementing a system. Remember, I mean, the first one is just complexity of the inventory and kind of supply chain and procurement process, right? If you're selling only 5 SKUs and you're literally buying a finished product from somebody and just reselling it, right? It's a turnkey co-packer or turnkey manufacturer. That doesn't sound very complex. Can you just manage that in reports? That saves you costs and time and energy with inventory management system, as well as it should be pretty easy to kind of handle this in reports and spreadsheets and different things like that, right? So if you're an in-house manufacturer and you have a ton of SKUs, it's probably a good idea to implement it more in that direction. So number one, understand the complexity of your supply chain inventory, procurement process there. Number two, maybe you've done the cost of goods sold manually and you just really don't know what they are. You're not clear on it, right? A couple things to think about where specifically with that is you may know the numbers, but maybe they change and are very dynamic. Let's say that you're buying nuts and the price of the nuts constantly change for your, for your granola or for your protein bar, or whatever. So it's really hard to get it refined and understanding what's a good buying decision for you. Another thing is you're literally importing products from overseas. Well, you have duties, taxes, freight, etc., and it's hard to kind of, apply those to a specific purchase order in a container manually versus doing it in a system that can do it kind of automatically with that, right? Understanding kind of that aspect there. You need more insight into supporting the functionality of the business, maybe when to reorder, right? Getting a system that can help you once you set up safety stock and reorder points and the whole 9 yards there that can help automate that process to help you better know when to order, not too late, not too early, and how much to order, right? Because then that directly impacts cash on your end. The level of reporting you may need a little bit more within QuickBooks Online. If you're using that, it's really hard to get product level profitability kind of automatically just because of the way it's set up, but it's much better to do so in Sin 7 Core, right? So kind of getting that level in place there. Maybe you have a ton of locations. Maybe you have some 3PLs that literally you can't get inventory counts from, and it's very frustrating to you. And they only give you inventory counts once a quarter. and you don't think they're ever accurate or anything, and maybe you need real-time inventory updates, maybe it's a good decision or reason to kind of move in that direction there. And kind of the last couple things are just kind of more. You have a ton of team members or several team members that are involved in the inventory process, from the purchasing to the invoicing to the receipt to the pick, pack, ship to the transfers, etc., where it just makes sense maybe to get it in place there. And then lastly, if you want to create kind of more efficiencies in the process and automate things once they're set up, right? So kind of the summary here is before you get an inventory management system, and I would say we worked with 2, 3, 400 different inventory based companies the last 10 years, 10 plus years. 60-70% of them are managing their inventory in spreadsheets at the start, right? So it's not like you're required to use an inventory system, or don't use inventory quantity tracking in QuickBooks Online. That's a pain, by the way. But do it manually for a while, get some processes in place, and then let's move to the next complex, right? The next harder thing to do, right? And then getting that system in place. But understanding that it's not one size fits all for every business, and there's specific decisions that you need to make that can help you decide when to implement a system. And then once you do that, figuring out what system works for you, and then what type of person or company or internal or external can help you implement it, understand the system, and then execute it moving forward. Thanks.